we were just talking about how long we've been training together, and it's been almost a year or over a year, hasn't it?
Mhm.
Just in
Yep.
December, it's been a year. So we have lots to share. Why don't you
Ew.
introduce yourself and not like everyone probably doesn't know who you are, but introduce yourself, like what you do, and then how you and I got connected.
Okay. Well, my name is Marie Shaw. I am going to be 60 this coming February, so this is a big year for me. And I was a stay-at-home mom for many, many, many years, and now my husband has a plastic surgery office, and I do a lot of things in the office, sort of like a handyman, kind of jack of all trade, places at the office, and
Yeah.
and I work out with Leah, and try to stay healthy.
Yeah. So how did we get connected? It was
We
through a
got
mutual friend, right?
it was. I had been talking to our friend Stacy, and just telling her that I wanted to start lifting and start building my muscles and stuff like that, because I have another trainer, but she does a lot of things that are not strengthening the muscles. It's more overall workouts. And I like the way muscles look. I know as I'm aging, I'm going to lose muscle mass. So I wanted to start that process so I wouldn't lose any more and maybe even gain some. So Stacy then hooked me up with you. We had a workout together, and from day one we clicked.
We
It was
did.
like we just had that same mindset, and
Yeah.
it's hard to find that. I think
It
as a
is.
woman, it is hard to find that. And I've had other trainers throughout the years, and you don't get that immediate bond. And I think we bonded.
Yeah.
And that's part of your journey. Is like, if you have to find the right people to help you along the way. Otherwise, they don't know how to encourage you. They don't know how to lift you up when you're down. They don't know how to kick you in the
Yeah.
butt when you need to be kicked in the
Yeah.
butt,
Yeah.
and that kind of things. And so it's been a pleasure to, and
It's been awesome.
our
I feel like
journey has
I've,
been a
yeah,
good one.
gained a friend. Now you had quite a journey before you and I started working together. I want you to share about that.
Well, my journey is, it's tough to talk about it sometimes. I was very healthy for a really long time, and then I don't know what happened. I got into some kind of a funk. We as women, something triggers it. Who knows what that was? And I just started putting all of my energy into other people and other things, and not giving myself any of that. And so I just started gaining weight. I started, eating unhealthy or eating late at night. I put my husband's career and my daughter's schooling and career first. I did a lot of charity work. I put all of that, to the forefront, and I forgot about me. And along the way, I had some injuries. I fractured my hip, um, trying to be healthy, and I was running stadium stairs and fractured my hip. And that, I think, was one of the things that set me back a lot.
Mhm.
Just trying to overcome that. And then I fell into, what a lot of women do. I fell into like this hole.
Mhm.
And I say it like that because I think that we as women, along our journey in life, there are times that we are very happy and we're fulfilled. And then there are times that we do have a
Mhm.
funk, or we get depressed, or something has changed. And I fell into this hole. And I had friends and my family, they threw me all kinds of lifelines,
Yeah.
trying to encourage, trying to motivate, all this stuff. But I was not ready to grab onto that rope and have them haul me up.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. I just wasn't ready. And when I was ready, I had to do it by myself. I had to climb out of that hole by myself. Otherwise, it wasn't going to work. They were there to encourage and just say, "Hey, you can do this." But I literally had to do it every day, step by step, for myself. Which, as a woman and a mom and a wife, and it's hard. It's hard to put yourself first
It
sometimes.
is. So
You
many
know.
excuses, so many reasons to put everybody else first. Now, share and there was one kind of catalyst that you were visiting a friend, and
Yes.
tell us about that.
Well, I'll gonna be brutally honest. It was like March, right before COVID, so it was February of 2020. I weighed about 240 pounds. I'm
How
5 feet
tall
tall.
are you?
I am 5 feet tall. That is a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight for anyone. I told you when I got in a hole, I got in a hole.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be seen. I knew people were judging me. And more importantly, I was judging myself. I was
Yeah.
harsh. I didn't want to be seen. You know, how many times we as women, like, we'll take the pictures of my daughter and my husband. So we have a decade of all these great photos of them. I'm not in them because
Very few. Yeah.
I was embarrassed. I didn't like the way I looked. It wasn't me. I was like staring at somebody I didn't recognize.
Right.
I knew I was in there, but it was like this I was smothering myself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was visiting my girlfriend in Spain, and she's a very dear friend, and she lives right on the beach. And she asked me what I wanted to do with my life. And that's a question that I get asked a lot. And so I don't know. I told her, I don't know. And then she asked me, she goes, well, do you want to be healthy or do you want to be unhealthy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, I want to be healthy. And she's like, well, I have a beach right outside. There's a boardwalk. You're going to be here visiting me. Why don't you just go take a walk?
Mm-hmm.
She worked at home, and so I would have to leave her house for like an hour. She was a massage therapist. And so I just started walking.
Yeah.
And while I was on that walk, I said to myself, like, I am 240 pounds. I am not unhealthy yet. I wasn't pre-diabetic. I didn't have heart disease yet, but I was on the cusp. I was on
Mm-hmm.
that verge. And I just decided that my daughter, I wanted to see her children. If I didn't do something, I was going to die prematurely. Then I was going to cause myself all kinds of issues. And and the thought of her looking at me or me possibly passing away and her thinking, why didn't she even try?
Mm-hmm.
Was heartbreaking. And so I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I didn't say, hey, look at me, I'm going on a diet tomorrow. Because
Right.
it wasn't that. I just said, um, I need to just start walking. And at that time, I was suffering from plantar fasciitis. I had had it for 2 years. I could hardly walk. I was living out of a boot. I had a fractured um, bone in my foot because of the plantar fasciitis. So I had all kind like it was difficult to walk. But
Yeah.
I'm like, no, if I don't walk, if I don't move, nothing's gonna change. And so that's my journey. I just started walking and I started eating a little less every day. And really looking at what I was eating. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know, here's my problem is I'd rather have a cake than a steak.
So would I.
And you know, unfortunately for many years that was, you know,
The
that's what I
case.
did. So I still now eat the steak now
Yeah.
because it's my protein, and if I want that cake, I give myself a little bit of that. So,
Yeah, there you go. There's a
but
balance. It's
it
interesting
was a
that
balance.
it's interesting that you say, I didn't tell anybody. And it's like your friend asking you, do you want to be healthy or do you want to be unhealthy? And there was something that I heard the other day that I thought that just reminded me of it. And it's like, instead of saying or committing, because it's New Year's, we just had New Year's right around, a couple weeks ago, people New Year's resolutions. And instead of saying, okay, I'm going to work out 4 to 5 days a week, you ask yourself, what would a healthy person do?
Mhm.
And that is what you basically did. You filtered everything you did through what a healthy person's life would look like. And you
Yeah.
started living like a healthy person.
Yes, and it helped too because, like I said, she's a dear friend,
Mhm.
and she's very healthy. She's a CrossFit trainer. She lives in Marbella, Spain, and so it's always fresh fish. It's fresh vegetables and fruits, and so that's how she lives. So while I was there with her, that's what I had to eat.
Yeah.
There was no candy, there was no chocolate, there was no nothing, and so I just had to make those decisions. And she was very encouraging every day. Like just, and again, I had to leave her house every day because she would have a client come in. And so she lives in a 400 square foot little tiny apartment. So, I couldn't just hide. So I had to go outside. And so while you're outside, I could have either sat on the bench or taken a walk. And so every day I would take a walk, and it was hard to start with. I mean, I couldn't do, 1,000 steps without being winded. And,
Yeah.
and I know that sounds bad, but I weighed 240 pounds and I had a messed up foot. And so then every day I would go, okay, I did 1,000 today. Tomorrow I just want to do 1,100,
Yeah.
just 100 more steps. And, and then it was like, what was nice is when you're outside and you start walking, the problem is you start walking, when you get to a point, you got to walk back.
Yeah.
There is no like, hey.
So you're only halfway.
Yeah, so you can't go halfway and go, oh, I'm done. I'm just gonna, pick me up. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I just knew I could do that, and every day I would just go a little farther. I'd eat a little healthier, and I drank more water, which is really difficult for me even now because it's not my thing.
Okay.
And I know it's healthy for you and everything. It's just hard.
Yeah. So as you journeyed and you started losing weight, how much did you lose before you even came to me? Because then you had lost even more since we've been.
I've lost. Yeah, last year I weighed probably about 145, 150 pounds. So I had already lost like 70 pounds before I came to see you, because that was the other thing too. Is like, I knew I wanted to get healthy, and I knew I wanted to lift weights because I've always enjoyed that. When I was in my 20s, I loved lifting weights, and I just like how that looks. I like looking strong and healthy. And again, for a decade, that was not me. And so I just decided I was going to lose the weight first. I started stretching. I would start working out. I did some classes. I would do those kind of things, but really the weight training, I hadn't found somebody. That I trusted, because I know a lot about it. And two, that could give me that encouragement that, hey, we've all been through this journey. And then I met you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, the day we clicked, it was just like, it was
Yeah.
just one of those things. And I think that as a woman, and I'm going to be 60, that I've had trainers in the past. I've had men trainers. I've had other female trainers, and they're all been great. They're all professionals. But again, if you don't click with the person, or if that person doesn't get you, they can't understand the journey either that you were on or the journey you're trying to go on. And I wanted somebody to help me on that journey. I didn't want somebody to go, oh, there's the road, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, you walk with me every day. I mean, you encourage me every time we're working out. We always have some. Yeah, we do. We talk about life. We talk about our families. We talk about, the things. And I think that's part of it. I think as a woman, you have to feel like someone's listening to you.
Yeah, just connected, and it's something that resonates. And I kind of always share with people, let's talk and see if this is a fit, because I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And I remember you and I both said that to each other, like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
I've learned that kind of girl.
I've learned in my life that here's things like, I think when we're younger, everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked. And I think as we get older, we realize it's okay not to like everyone, and it's okay for everyone not to like us. And you just got to be okay with that. And sometimes you click and sometimes you don't, but it doesn't mean anything about them or you. It's just, but when it does click, I think that you have those people in your life for your entire life, because something has bonded you. And I think that when we started, it was like one of those bonds. It was just like, wow, she's going to get me where I want to be. And it's not ask you that's the workout. Like,
so what were you expecting? What did you want? And did you get what you expected, or did you get something other than what you expected?
I think I got more than I expected. When I first came to you and Stacy was like, oh, I got this trainer, I think you'll like her. I had already been working out with some other trainers. And like I said, I went through the motions, like, oh, you can lift this, you can lift that. I'm like, okay. But then I would go home and be like, all right. It didn't make me motivated. Or the other thing, it wasn't like, hey, I'm driving to the gym, I can't wait for this like workout, And when I met you, I don't know, it was like, I think because you've been on a big journey in life too, that you were encouraging without being pushy. You were supportive in all of the right ways. And I think that was it. And you have a physique that I respect, because it's earned. I think that that's the one thing too, is like when you work out that hard, and throughout the year, we've learned a little bit more about each other's journeys, and I respect that. I mean, that's the thing I think women have to understand. We've all been on some road. We've all been,
Yeah.
ups and downs and a roller coaster. And this thing is like, it's like a roller coaster. We can't get off of it. So sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and sometimes it's thrilling, and sometimes you're screaming,
Yeah.
but
You catch
it's nice that,
shade.
and I think that when we clicked, it's nice to know that someone else is on that journey and on that path with you, that you want for your clients. And I, I feel that with you. Like, you want your clients to be happy and healthy and fulfilled and find themselves. And I
Yes.
think that that was the one thing that you encouraged me to do this past year, is to help try to figure out who I am, what I want, not what the other people in my life want or what I can do for them. But, and every time we work out, you always encourage me to do something for myself. Even if it's a 5-minute thing, you're like, do this, and you can do this. And, we talk about so many different aspects of life. And when we're in there and I'm trying to do the weights, like, you'll tell me something, I'm like, you can do this. And I know I can do it, because one, I don't want to disappoint you. And two, it's just like, you're going to push me
Yes.
to better myself.
And you
and
push yourself, but I love, that's the good thing, is like, you're in the driver's seat and I'm sitting shotgun, and it's like, we're like going together, and what resonates is what resonates. And I think when you're on this kind of journey, I've been fit shamed. You've been fit shamed in a way, because I mean, you look incredible. There's absolutely no way anyone would look at you right now and know that you've been where you've been. And so it's a huge reason why I wanted to do this interview with you, because there are so many people, so many women who do throw themselves into their families and into their careers and forget all about them. And then they wake up one day and they're like, what am I doing? And then they feel like it's too late, or they're too far gone. And that is not the case. And we'll do, I think you have one photo of you. I know you don't have a lot, but I would love for people, because I know people have seen you on my stories and seen you work out. They just cannot believe that you're going to be.
You can share what I look like. I think that
we will.
When I looked at it and I measured my arms, the circumference of my arms was 23 inches. Yeah. That's huge. I mean, there are bodybuilder guys that want 21-inch arms. Right. I had fat 23-inch arms. So it was not great. And so that's why I had a lot.
Arms now. I mean,
and now I have great, thanks to you, I have great arms. But it's just, I think that when I'm in a gym now, whether it's your gym or my other friend's gym, and people see me like, oh, I wish I could do that. Well, guess what? I wasn't able to do that 2 years ago. I wasn't able to do it a year and a half ago. And some of the stuff I'm doing now, I couldn't do 6 months ago. And so I just take it every day, and I try to push myself a little more. And I encourage everyone that's out there, don't look at someone else and go, oh, I wish I could do that. If they're doing something that you think you'd want to do, then just try. I mean, even if you just do half a rep or 1 rep, you can do it. Doesn't mean you're going to do it today, but tomorrow maybe you can do it. But if you never start, you're never going to do it. And I think that was, for me, was, if I don't start now, when am I going to start? How many more years am I going to let life go by? How many more years am I going to be behind the camera and not in front of the camera with my family? And I didn't want to put that on my daughter. And more importantly, I didn't want to be sick either. And so I think that was the cusp for me, was like, you're not sick yet, you can do this. But the other thing too is, even if you are ill or you do have some of these diseases, if you lose some weight and get healthier, those things get better. Yeah. There are people that I know that have been heavy with me along the way too, and they started their journey, and I've encouraged them, and they don't have to take blood pressure medicine anymore, or they don't have to take their diabetes, even just losing 20, 30 pounds. And I think the problem was that, and one of the things that I struggled with too, is I started my journey right before COVID, and I didn't take COVID as the world is falling apart. I can do anything I want. I'm depressed. I'm like, I had already been there. So I'm like, you know what?
Say nothing.
No one's gonna, I can't go out and see my friends. I might as well just start and do this, because, I have nothing but time. and I need to work on me. And that's what I did. And so for all of those that are out there that maybe have gained some weight since COVID,
Yeah.
don't be upset about it. Don't say, oh my gosh, like, you look this good, or you look that good, or just, oh, I'm heavier than I used to be. Just start.
Yeah.
Just start today. And I think what I had to do is I had to give myself permission to forgive myself.
Yes. Ooh, that's
Because
powerful. Really powerful to forgive yourself. Like that's
yeah,
big.
because I
That's
knew
some
I was in a
trauma
funk.
stuff coming
Yeah.
through.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and I think that I had to say to myself, I can't do anything about what I did yesterday. If I ate that whole cake yesterday, there's nothing I can do about it. But what I can do is I can do about what I'm going to do right now, this moment, today. I can't worry about, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be that. I can only live in the here and now. Like, what can I do right this moment to make myself healthier? What can I do to make myself a little bit better than yesterday? So, and that's what I did. So again, it was like 100 more steps today. And so my journey went from 1,000 steps, and now I do 10,000 steps a day minimum. It's my number. It's what keeps me motivated, and I have to reach that goal because it's just my own personal goal. So somebody's goal might be 5,000 steps. Could be 2,500. That's okay. Just make it your goal, and just every day, don't let anything get in the way of that particular goal.
That's the thing is something I always want to share is like, you show up, you just have to show up for yourself. And someone said that to me the other day. It's like, I love how you show up for yourself. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I think everyone should show up for themselves because no one can do that for you, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And then the second best thing is to forgive yourself. And that, I'm glad you said that, because that's a huge part of what I work with people in just the one-on-one realm, my online realm. It is huge to get through some of those traumas because it's this worthiness.
Yeah.
Do you feel worthy to be fit, healthy, beautiful, to be in a physique at age 60 that you worked for? Yes, you are worthy. You are earning that worthiness every single day.
And that's hard. I think women don't give themselves that. I think that we have learned that, we have to do all this stuff for our families and all of this stuff for other people. And it's selfish to do something for yourself, but it's not. And I think what I had to finally say is like, if I don't, oh, did I lose? There we go.
No,
if I don't get healthy for myself, what can I give to them?
And look how much more you do for your family and the clinic that you guys have. And like, you are like still there for everyone, doing charity things, like, you are always doing something, and you're still, but it's like, come hell or high water, you're going to get to your session. And it just makes you so much happier throughout the day. You walk out in nature all the time. I know you go for an hour or two, sometimes walks. It's like and some people are like, they have to trade all of that stuff and being there for the kids or their spouse for that. And it's like, no, it's just this crazy thing where you just get this exponential amount of energy and time that you can go and do all this stuff as well. It just works out. It's like time multiplies.
And I think that women in general, we always make excuses. I got to do dishes. I got to do the laundry. I got to do this. I got to help the kids. I got to do that. Well, guess what? The laundry's going to stay there. The dishes are going to stay there. But if you're not healthy, who's going to do those dishes? Like, so either you can postpone doing the dishes for a half an hour and go for that walk, clear your head. But I was in a funk for a really long time, and I just had to pull myself out. And every day I wake up going, today is a new day. Today is, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to try to eat healthy. There are days that I'm great. There are days that sometimes, not so great, but that's okay, because again, I can only worry about today. I can't go, and be upset with myself for what I did a week ago. I can't go back. None of us can go backwards. We can only go forward and go, hey, I'm going to be better today. And hopefully that means you're going to be better tomorrow.
And you don't get healthy just eating one one good meal, just like you don't get unhealthy eating one bad meal. So one bad meal or two bad meals in the grand scheme of it all really is not going to set you back. And you have that balance, like that 80-20 balance where you can live life. You still travel, you go see your daughter, you leave town with your husband, like you live a very busy, active, like social life. I mean, there's just so much that you do that I'm like, there's nothing about this woman's world that is restrictive really at all.
But when I was 240 pounds, it was hard. It was hard to tie my shoes. It was hard to, get up. And I think that, my little nephew who's 7, I think said it best. The other day when it was really warm out, we were at the park and he's like, let's go to the swings. I'm like, okay, race you. And so he and I ran to the swings and he gets to the swings. He turns around and he looks at me and calls me Ee. He goes, oh, Ee. He goes, you couldn't have done that last year. And he goes, you're so much more fun. Why? Because I can move a little better. And so if a 7-year-old can encourage me and go,
Oh,
that was great. And so we're going on the slides together. It's just, I just hope that I can encourage someone
you are
to think about what you want and give yourself that permission that it's okay to do it for yourself.
And I think,
and again, if you're in that hole,
that support, like your friend, coaches, you don't have just me, you have lots of containers of support. And that is like, if you can do it alone, I mean, you would be by now type of thing. It's like you get the right people in place. Like you said, it's like we clicked. There was something in this season that we just resonated with, and this is right now where we're both are supposed to be. And I think that's also something that people are scared to invest in, that it's the best it's the biggest return on investment you can ever make is in yourself. And I've spent more money on myself, and I can say that without feeling guilty or without, I mean, I really do a lot of self improvement and personal growth stuff that that is going to make me become. You became something. You didn't just do a list of things, you became, and you changed who you were from the inside out. And that's why this is sustainable for you. You're never going to go back.
No.
Never.
And just like you said, that you're investing in yourself, but even though you're investing in yourself, everything that you've done, you give that to your clients too. Like everything that you've learned, your knowledge, your experience, those things, you share that with everyone. And I think that that's really important for anyone who is looking for someone that they want to encourage. Like you do. And we've talked about the fun things that we've done, the stupid things we've done in the past, our journeys and stuff like that. But then you have, like, you just went to that empowerment, program, and you shared some of those things. And even when we're training, you're like, okay, breathe like this and do those things. So even though it's an investment in yourself, that investment is spread amongst so many people. And that also includes your children. Like you're healthier, they see you, they've been encouraged by it. I think that, moms of daughters too, it's like, there's always these, but like you said, body shaming. It's hard. And it's just one of those things that it's encouraging for them to see you healthy, and to be strong. And I think that that's the key. It's like, you can be strong without being bulky. You can be strong and I think if you can get that a little bit of the physical strength, it helps with the emotional and mental strength. And sometimes, like today when we were working out, I needed that mental strength because my body didn't want to push that weight up.
Like, yes, you can do it.
It never matter. It was like, I'm getting this done now. And you encouraged it, and so that's where we just have to try. And again, it's not been an easy journey. This has been almost a 3-year journey for me. And every day I get up and I'm like, I've got to make my 10,000 steps today. Because again, it's no one else's life but your own. Okay? And are you living it for someone else, or are you going to start living it for yourself? And that's what I had to find out. I had to find out that I love my family and I love my husband and my daughter and I want to do all these things for them and I still do all this stuff with them.
Yep.
But then I have to take a little bit of time for myself. And that's what I didn't do for so many years. And I lost myself. And so many of us do. We just, like I said, we hide or we throw ourselves into different things. And if you're struggling with trying to find yourself, just do one thing.
One thing.
Get up and go take a walk.
Yeah.
5-minute walk, 10-minute walk.
I love it.
Yeah. So
love it.
again, that's my story, and I'm
It's an
glad that you're
incredible
on my
story.
journey with me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I said,
I'm
you've
so
been instrumental this last year, and
well,
I
thank you
think
for
that
allowing me on it.
we
It's been
just
incredible. I'll put a picture. You'll have to send me whatever one you want, and we'll put
okay.
that in the description. I'll figure out how to edit it. But thank you so much for sharing and pouring into everyone, because I can't tell you how I can say it all day long, but it's like I have to get these experiences that I get so blessed and inspired by with you guys all week long, that I get to bring that to everybody else who may need that little bit of encouragement and inspiration themselves. So thank you for sharing your time.
Well, I am blessed that we found each other, and I thank Stacy for that. And I'm just glad that you and I clicked, because like I said, it's a hard journey when you don't have the right people around you, but just find those people, and again, I just want people to know that you can do it. It's hard. Is it hard? Oh, sure. It's hard.
But it's
were
hard
there
the
days
other way. It's like, choose your
it
heart.
is.
The other
Yep,
heart is
exactly.
like, what do you want?
I can put my socks on now without grunting. I mean, I was big, and so but it's just one of those things that we just have to give ourselves the permission to do something for ourselves,
Absolutely.
or those things. And so just I hope that someone out there hears this and comes to you and says,
They
hey,
will.
help me with my journey, because
Or
we're
someone.
all on that journey. Yep.
Exactly. Just find the person. Find your
Just find
person.
a person. Exactly. Find the person that's good for you.
Yeah.
But and they'll encourage you to get through there. And we're going to be together for a very long time.
Very long time. Awesome. Well, thanks, Marie. You have
You
an
are quite
amazing rest
welcome.
of the day.
I will.
I'll see you at the gym. Bye.